thanks for joining me. So don't forget, drop a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. We've just come off of the back of a 2-0 reverse at home to Brighton in the Premier League, which is our third consecutive defeat in the league and our third match without a goal. I think it's fair to say that this wasn't quite in the script. So there's a few people that want to get it off of their chest about what they feel they witnessed at London Stadium today. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Jake Cox of West Ham Unofficial. So take it away, Jake.
Hi guys, it's Jake from West Ham Unofficial. Here to react to West Ham 0 Brighton 2. Well, where do I start? Just very, very poor. Lacked ideas, lacked passion, fight, desire. 3 games, 3 losses, 0 goals. Really no hope in the side. No want to win, you know. And Declan Rice said in his post-match interview, we need to be better. And yes, we damn right need to be. There's no leadership in that side. It seems like since we've lost Mark Noble, the leadership has gone in that West Ham United dressing room and side overall. There's so many things I could say. You know, let's start off with the first goal. Kehrer, it is partly his fault, but Zuma's left him out to dry there. That's poor. He should know better than that. You know, he is a very good centre-back, Zuma, and it was poor. Overall today, he was really, really poor, which is unlike him. We need a commanding head back in that back line, and I think Craig Dawson is massively missed, and he needs to get back in there to, you know, restore some order and restore some quality back into that back line, you know, as soon as possible. Kehrer, the decision making is poor from our new centre back. Not a great start to life in East London for him, but hopefully he can, you know, regroup and regain his composure for the coming games, because we're going to need him at some points massively, you know, and he needs to show that he is worth what we paid for him. It wasn't much, you know, but he was playing in the first team for PSG, and he needs to show us that he is that quality. Move up into midfield. I keep saying it. Souček, you know, what's he offering? He had more chances today, and he missed more chances yet again. He probably had the most chances out of any of our players today, and he just missed them all. You know, he doesn't look like a threat anymore. He doesn't look like he's going to go and put his head on it and score. In terms of him in midfield, no impact again. Our midfield was poor today. I don't think Rice had a great game either. His head was down. I thought we lacked leadership. I thought it was very, very poor. Benrahma I didn't think was fantastic today. Just the whole team weren't great today, and we deserved to lose. We lost. That's the bottom line, and we've just got to try and somehow regroup and get ready for Villa. Well, obviously we've got the Conference League game, but get ready for Villa in the Premier League next weekend. I don't see where the points are coming from. Moyes needs to work hard this week and somehow rejuvenate this squad, this side, and start getting some points on the board, because it is needed ASAP. But thanks everybody, and I'll leave you there. Thanks, and come on your wines. We need some points, guys. Cheers.
So, good evening everybody, Steve 50 here. Just a quick reaction after going to the match today. Normally I can find something in a game that, yeah, that was good, that was positive. Today it was just awful. You've got professional football players there who couldn't pass the ball 3 feet. You've got Kurt Zuma marauding up the pitch and passing it to the opposition. There was nothing in that game at all that I could find any positives in. And that's really unusual for me, because I can usually find something where I say, well, he played well, or we were unlucky there. But today we were just abysmal. One of the main problems for me was our midfield. Souček just wasn't at the races. Now, I have a theory why Souček is playing as poorly as he is, and I'm probably going to pop on with Duke and Gatesy tomorrow to do the review, but he was awful. So, sorry, I'm going to pop on and do the review and I'll give you my thoughts then. But he was truly dreadful today. He gave Brighton the freedom of London Stadium. It was embarrassing as well because on about the 72nd minute, the Brighton fans were doing ole, ole as they passed the ball around, and we're at home. I'm not going to get into the Moyes bashing and criticising. Yes, Moyes has some culpability for it, but equally the players on the pitch have to look at themselves and go, we need to be better. Because today they weren't. Declan Rice was poor, Jared Bowen was poor, Creswell, every time the ball came near Creswell I sort of flinched. But the most damning thing for me was when they scored their second goal, I wasn't annoyed, I just laughed. Because it had been that bad and I could see it coming. I thought, yep, that's all we deserve. So we've got Villa next week. Personally, I think we need to shut up shop, make sure we don't concede and at least get something out of the game. It would be nice to score a goal this season, but, you know, maybe I'm expecting too much. Very, very poor performance today. Ineffective in every area of the pitch. The only person who comes out without any criticism is Fabianski. He couldn't stop the penalty and he couldn't do anything about the second goal. Everybody else, not good enough. Anyway, that's my thoughts. I'll expand on those on the review tomorrow. Just finish by saying, come on you Irons.
So thank you to Steve 50 and also to Jake Cox of West Ham Unofficial for giving what falls from Iron their thoughts on the match that took place at London Stadium today, which finished West Ham United 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. From my point of view, I was very disappointed with what I saw. I thought that in the main, we were very, very lethargic, just plodding through. I don't think that when we were in possession, we were getting up the pitch quickly enough, which allowed them time to get back and get organised and basically nullify us. There was a number of players, and I'll go into this in more detail in the match review that we do with Duke, but it just, there were certain players that were out there that just seemed to be just going through the motions, to be perfectly honest with you. And that's probably the more concerning thing, if I'm being completely honest. If we lose a game, that really, as far as I'm concerned, you can kind of go, okay, you win, you lose, that's fine. But I expect the players that take to the pitch wearing the claret and blue of West Ham United to put in a shift, look like you've had a go, and at least come off the pitch looking like you've got a bit of a sweat on, and that you've given everything to, because there's people that go to games that have worked bloody hard, and we're in a time where there's a cost of living crisis and money's hard to come by. So the players, they need to put in a shift, and for me, they don't look like they are. They might turn around and say we're doing our best, but it doesn't look like it from where we're sitting a lot of the time. And I'm not going to name names here, that's going to come in our match review, but I think you can probably work out some of the players that I'm probably pointing the finger at, and you'd be right. But it needs to change. We've got Aston Villa on Sunday, and this is another team that's bang out of form at the minute, and in another situation we should be rubbing our hands and looking at this match and thinking, okay, that should be 3 points on the horizon. But then again, they're probably looking at us and thinking exactly the same thing. So it's kind of the irresistible force meets the immovable object, but in reverse, if you will. Two out of form teams, and it's just which one's going to be the least crap on the day that's going to take the spoils. And then following on from that, we've got Tottenham Hotspur at home at the London Stadium, and I got to be honest with you, I'm not particularly relishing that one. Normally, Tottenham is a fixture that I sort of like rub my hands and go, come on, bring it on. But this one, I'm looking and thinking the form that they're in, the form that we're in, dangerous territory. And if it goes horribly wrong and we actually get done in both our next 2 games, that'll be 5 Premier League defeats this season. And if you include the last match of last season, when we lost 3-1 at Brighton on the last day, that would be 6 Premier League defeats in a row. And I appreciate that David Moyes, you could argue, has got a lot of credit in the bank. He's got 2 successive top 7 finishes, semi-final of a European competition, and qualification again for Europe this season. But the credit in the bank argument, it's only going to last for so long. No manager, I think, is able to withstand successive Premier League defeats to infinity. There eventually comes a point when a manager's under threat of the bullet from those above. But there you go. Hopefully it won't come to that. But we just need to see a little bit more from the players on the pitch. It's as simple as that. We need to see certain players, if they're taking to the pitch, if they're in a starting 11 or they come on as subs, we need to see them putting in absolute maximum effort for the people that are paying hard-earned cash in tough times to go and see them home and away, especially away. It needs to change. It's as simple as that. There's no ifs, no buts about it. Anyway, don't forget, drop a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon. Thanks very much for your time. Come on, you Irons.